Have you ever wondered about those weird names on Amazon? Snailax, Renfo, Comfy. They kind of sound like Pokemon names, but they're actually names of sellers on Amazon. You might not know it, but Amazon had a huge part in the making of those names. They did it by making the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, aka the USPTO, work for them. Let's rewind a bit, back to the early .com days when Jeff Bezos had hair. It was the mid-90s when Amazon started selling books online. The first 5 years were brutal. They were burning through cash and had no profits. Things didn't change much until 1998 when Amazon decided to expand into consumer goods. Just 3 years later, Amazon made its first profit, a mere $5 million, but things only got better from there. Getting into consumer goods was so successful that Amazon decided to open its infrastructure to outside sellers with a new program called Amazon Marketplace. For a cut of the sales, vendors could put their products on Amazon's online platform and leverage their warehousing and shipping infrastructure. Businesses saw what the platform could do for them, so they piled into the marketplace in the millions. Most sellers in the marketplace were good, honest businesses, but there were always some bad apples. You know, the ones that sold knockoffs, counterfeits, and defects. After the marketplace took off, stories started popping up about baby pajamas sold on Amazon catching fire or hair dryers that could electrocute people. Understanding that flammable babies didn't help their reputation, Amazon thought about vetting products to make sure they were safe to sell. But they quickly trashed that idea. Imagine vetting over 300 million products. That's a nightmare. Instead, they came up with an ingenious idea. What if we got the US government to do the vetting for us? What Amazon really wanted was for the USPTO to screen sellers for them for free. So Amazon changed its rules and required every seller, new and old, to own a registered trademark. In the early 2000s, part of the registration process required every trademark owner to meet two conditions. 1, show specimens of products with their trademarks on the products. And 2, if the seller isn't from the US, have an attorney file the registration application for them. Well, rules were meant to be broken, so applicants got around that in no time. They beat the first rule by photoshopping trademark into their products. Some of the photoshopping was so good, trademark examiners just let them through. A lot of times they were so bad, examiners had to reject the applications. In the end, photoshopping made the examiners work harder to figure out which specimens were real. For the second rule, back in the early 2000s, the USPTO allowed non-US attorneys, meaning any attorney, to file trademark applications. Foreign applicants had no trouble getting around that. They just made a fake lawyer using friends or relatives in their country. Seriously, how can you possibly know if Cousin Ali in Lebanon is a legit lawyer? The USPTO couldn't either. At any rate, all of this turned the trademark process into molasses. Not to mention, the office was already a year behind in older, unprocessed applications. It got so bad, the USPTO had to go to Congress crying for a change in the rules. Congress agreed and passed new rules in 2019. Instead of fixing the problem, the new rules shifted vetting to lawyers in the US. Basically, foreign applicants are now required to use only US attorneys, who then have to verify that the applicant and their specimens are good. Screw that up, the US attorney gets slapped with malpractice. What about those wacky names? Well, thanks for sticking with me. To get a trademark registered, the name has to be unique. For example, if 2 shoe sellers apply for the Nike trademark, the person who filed first or used the mark first normally gets the registration. The rejected seller would lose all the money spent on application fees and attorney fees. The worst part is having to tear down all that branding that you've done. Imagine the money, blood, sweat, and tears poured into that brand just to see it go poof. So, to avoid getting rejected, Amazon sellers came up with the wackiest names for the trademarks just to be different. And it worked. A lot of those marks passed. You might think it's crazy to build a brand off of some unreadable name. As it turns out, most people don't really care. Ask yourself, do you care when you shop on Amazon? Most buyers worry about prices and reviews. If that's good, add to cart. Sellers understand that, so they focus on selling generic products. They only need to adjust prices and rack up customer reviews to convince you to buy. Fast forward to today, and many of those wacky brands have grown into huge businesses, which ironically fulfills a trademark principle. Create a unique trademark, protect it, and build a customer following around it. If you like stories about patents, trademarks, and copyrights, or want to learn more about getting one, like and subscribe to get access to even more content. And if anyone asks, where'd you learn this? Tell them, it's my idea.